Hey there. Hi. Welcome. Welcome to Tabletop Wisdom. We're going to be going over a lot of different topics here. At least that's the plan. The plan is we're going to go over things like learning how to play the game. Not just D&D, but primary focus right now is going to be D&D because that's where my core knowledge is. We're going to be going over different tools for the game for the DMs and players alike. We're going to go over where to start with classes, how to build a class, how to use D&D Beyond. We're going to go over mechanics, new and old, not just the 2024 rules, but maybe how the 2014 rules have transitioned into the 2024 rules and created new interesting things, as well as a bunch of other hot topic issues, I do suppose, like problem players, maybe problem DMs that are nerfing their players unfairly, right? Things like that. There's a lot of things to go over, but here at Tabletop Wisdom, or over here at Tabletop Wisdom, so we've got myself and Jason. He'll make his own video explaining who he is and all of that context, but this one's for me. This one's letting you know a little introspective of who I am and what I bring to the table. I am John, or you can call me Anti or Apid Anti. Any of those work, but John is good too. So, I'm a longtime DM. I think I've DM'd for about 10 years or so at this point. It's a large amount of time, or at least it feels that way. It's been a good number of years, and it's been a fun number of years. I've got some notes about some stuff I'd like to tell you about myself, so let's get into it. Where did I start, or what got me into TTRPGs? I suppose that's a fun one. It started with friend group, right? Because that's where a lot of us end up starting with family or friends or whatever. For me, it was my friend group with John, actually, not me, John, but a different other John, right? So we wanted to do D&D, a group of like 4 or 5 of us. I think it started as 4 of us, but we didn't have a DM. And John, he had DM'd in 3.5, or maybe he was just a player multiple times. I don't think he had ever DM'd at that point. So he had DM'd for or played for a different system. So he was gonna try and DM for the new system that he'd never DM'd for, regardless. I think that's what it was, right? So there was a lot of situations where we just didn't know the rules or were misunderstanding the rules constantly. We had fun, so like we weren't playing wrong, but we were playing really wrong, right? Examples. So like our first campaign, I think there was definitely some unfairly nerfing of players. I was on the receiving end. There's others too, but we were playing so wildly wrong that it was just breaking the game entirely. Like I think we were misunderstanding how sneak works, which that's commonly misunderstood. We were misunderstanding how expertise works to the point where we were applying expertise to entire skills like dexterity or wisdom or whatever, right? So all of those skills roll with expertise. So it was so broken. It was so wildly broken. We had a good time though, and it makes for a good story. Um, but I guess between the two of them, DMing or as a player, I have DM'd a lot. I've DM'd probably about 5 campaigns at this point. I think the longest one was about 2 years, but I did just have one come to an end that was about a year and a half or so, which that was a really fun one. Honestly, I'll miss it. Between the two, DM or player, it's hard to say which I enjoy more because like they each have their own benefits, or not necessarily benefits, but like things to enjoy, right? For me as a player, you've got like building your own character and its narrative story in the world, or at least to start, and then watching that grow and expand and becoming its own thing, right? And you have so much control over it, which it's really, really cool, right? And for me, I like to build all these very interesting, unique characters that bring their own things to the table in combat, like building grapplers, building things that really push the boundaries of, is that gonna function? Ah, we'll hope for the best. Oh, special place in my heart. You know what I mean? So I think I still got to give it to DMing though. DMing is my favorite. But between the two of those, so DMing, it really brings, you've got this whole fresh world that you're making, and you really can just do whatever you want. You can just make whatever story you want, and you can on the fly adjust whatever you need to. Players aren't enjoying this particular combat, spice it up. They aren't particularly enjoying this quest, that side quest just got offered. They're having a grand old time, keep it rolling. Yes, right? And you have so much control. It's a huge responsibility to like try and run a fun, good game. But like when you do it right, it feels so good. It's so self-rewarding, if that makes sense. That's my biggest peeve thing that I don't like as a DM. Two NPCs. Fuck that. Don't like that. You got two NPCs that need to have a conversation talking to each other. I'm going to summarize for you what they said to each other, because I don't feel like doing, not that I don't feel like, I suck at it. And keeping it like managed in my head of, you got like the deep voice barbarian, or oh my god, if the names are really, sorry, the voices are really similar as well. Trying to talk to yourself, the two sides of a conversation. Oh my god, that's the end of me. I'll just summarize what their conversation was for you. If you wanted to like try and get some information off of it, yeah, we can go backwards on that. But that's my pet peeve there. All right. What type of characters do I enjoy? Well, I already said like the general idea of characters, so I suppose I'll answer this as classes. For me, it's Rogue and Warlock. It's by far Rogue and Warlock. Let's chuck a little bit of Sorcerer in there, and oh, do I want there to be some Artificer in there? But they released the Unearthed Arcana. The full playable stuff would have to be done on pen and paper, and right now I'm not dealing with that. I'm doing D&D Beyond right now. But I don't mind pen and paper. That pen and paper is great for teaching new players, and it can also have its own nostalgia and funness to itself as well. But I'm not trying to incorporate Unearthed Arcana or Artificer, blah, 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 blah. I like my rogues and my warlocks and all those. Generally, I suppose I don't play a lot of those really complex ones like the druids and the wizards. I'm not against them or anything like that. It's just, I like what I like. What makes my style unique? I suppose as a DM, I'm not afraid to homebrew anything. Honestly, combat encounter, you got it. I can, off the top of my head, I can probably rip one because, like, let's have fun with it. You just figure out, even if I don't have a stat block, you figure out, I could guess me how much AC that thing has, how much health it has. I could balance this towards what my player's perspective damage output is, or how much damage they can take. Really, I'll homebrew just about anything I need to during a session, to the point where, like, sometimes you don't even need to do that much prep. You can just improv things together. Mind you, cool narrative boss fights? No, prep that shit. Prep that shit. No. Don't swing into the final boss battle of a encounter and then have nothing. No. Or maybe sometimes. But no. Alright. Why we're starting the channel. I'm assuming it's probably going to be different for myself and Jason. I think we have our own different perspectives on life, and that's honestly really good to have two different takes coming into this, if that makes sense, right? For me, I suppose it's the topic of education, storytelling, and inspiring new DMs and players. For me, the idea of inspiring more people to play and try it, when it's been such a big part of like cool parts of my life, that it'd be very heartwarming getting more people into it and helping more people understand the game better. And I'm kind of all about education like that. Hopefully you guys will gain some stuff from whatever content we produce. I feel like generally I can explain things pretty well as things go, as well as teaching others in interesting ways. Uh, Besides just what the rules are, what ones can be broken, or what things feel like rules but aren't actually rules, right? Like the DM, this isn't one that I normally break very often. It's not, well, not even break, it's not breaking. The DM doesn't have any necessity to use only spells inside of the player's handbook or DMG or whatever, right? The DM can literally just make spells. Yeah, you should keep it balanced to an extent, but if you need something to achieve a purpose, you don't need to find a spell that achieves that and work in the framework of D&D and that. You can just invent a spell. You can just do it, right? And that's so freeing that you can just do those things. You want to give your magic item to one of your players that like levels up with them as they level up. Just fucking, yeah, there is some that do it now, but just do it. You can. You can just do it. But regardless, there's a lot of topics that we plan to go over. I hope you guys stick around, stay a while, subscribe, be part of this fun is the ideal. And maybe gain some information and teach us too. That's all I got for you. Again, we here, Tabletop Wisdom. I'm John, or Anti, or Ape and Anti, whatever you want to call me. And the other guy, Jason. He's going to be co-founding all of this. You can call him Jason or Wolf, or he might add in a Wolf Phototech. We'll see what he goes with for name. But, hope to have you here a while. Thank you for being here. See you.